So even though this was a success, the scale is the big surprise. Because to get these results, from something 36 inches away, at 25 miles away, it's just an unbelievable amount of power. And especially since it actually has to penetrate a metal cage, a metal airframe, to do its damage.
Although Jafari's encounter was witnessed by many, and he claimed the Iranian military is interested in the UFO phenomenon, just 3 years later, the Iranian Revolution created a closed and secret society within Iran. Reports of UFOs were no longer coming to the West.
I haven't seen anything like this before, and what I think and what I believe and everybody else believed that was an unknown foreign object, a UFO.
After putting the three main components of Jafari's case to the test, the team doubts that a man-made flying object could mimic the movements that Jafari saw that night. And while the sudden loss of the F4's computer system can be explained by the intense electromagnetic pulse, the real facts remain elusive. But 4 years later, a similar and even more dramatic UFO dogfight occurs over Peru. But this time, the pilot was able to attack. On February 18, 2008, Oscar Santamaria arrives at Los Angeles International Airport from Lima, Peru. Santamaria is in Los Angeles to work with the UFO hunters to help prove the facts and events around his extraordinary case of a UFO dogfight over Peru in 1980.
Soy Oscar Santamaria Huertas, oficial piloto de la...
I am Oscar Santamaria Huertas, a pilot for the Peruvian Air Force, right now in retirement.
El 11 de abril de 1980,
The 11th of April of 1980,
a las 7:15 horas de la mañana,
at 7:15 in the morning,
en la base aérea
at the airbase of La Joya in Peru,
los 1,800 hombres
1,800 military people in charge that day,
observaron al final de la pista.
They observed at the end of the runway an object that looked like a balloon
No tenía permiso
that didn't have authorization to fly in the area.
Suponíamos que podría ser un aparato espía.
And they thought it was an spy.
El comando de la base,
a commander gave him the order to take off and destroy the object right away.
Santamaria fires 64 rounds from his 30mm cannon directly at the object. But to his amazement, the bullets seemed to pass right through the object and would have clearly destroyed anything in their path, including a weather balloon.
He was expecting the object to explode,
pero no fue así e inició un ascenso.
But it didn't happen, and the object started ascending. He proceeded to go after the object.
Santamaria pursues and notices the unidentified object is doing something else. Every time he gets within range, the object climbs, executing maneuvers worthy of Top Gun. However, the most harrowing part of his story is yet to come, and it involves the U.S. military.
I just recently met Oscar Santamaria, and I listened to his story, and I have to wonder, why would this military commander come out with this UFO story unless he was really, really affected by this experience? I believe he saw something that really shook him and that stayed with him to this day.
Due to the complexity and shocking nature of this event, Oscar Santamaria has always encountered skeptics who simply cannot believe that both he and this object made such extraordinary maneuvers during his dogfight with what he thinks was a real UFO. The team wants to determine if the Santamaria UFO had maneuvering capabilities that were greater than anything that existed at the time. Since they don't have access to a Sukhoi 22 jet, they will use the next best thing available. They return to Air Combat USA to take this case to the sky. The team has identified 3 key elements of this case that they want to test and demonstrate. The fact that Santa Maria locked onto and fired at the UFO with no effect is incredibly impressive to the team, but difficult to test. However, 2 key aerial maneuvers can be analyzed with some accuracy in the air. First, the UFO came to a dead stop in midair. Second, from this dead stop, the UFO began a steep, fast climb. In order to give the team an accurate depiction of the events of that night, Experiments producer John Tyndall has devised a laser tracking tool with 2 lasers, one red, one green, both controlled by joysticks. The green laser represents the flight path of the UFO. The red laser represents the flight path of the jet. Together, they give a scale representation of the event.
Hey, John. Good.
Aquí. What I have here is a top-down view using these laser pointers as basically a scale model of the movement of any of these UFOs and the aircraft, respectively. I can scale the movement to match the speed of the scale on the map. Where was your airfield? The red laser is indicating your aircraft, and that is traveling at around 1,000 miles an hour.
Santa Maria, using the red laser, shows his position at the point of the first attack.
As he got closer into the 900-meter firing position, he fired 64 rounds. He knows that he hit the object, but nothing happened. It didn't explode. The object started moving away at a fast pace. Yes, as he moved away, he climbed at the same time. The object stopped all of a sudden. He almost hit it, so he went around his right to take a firing position. As he was getting close to the 900-meter range, he activated the post-combustion.
Is it afterburner?
Afterburner, post-combustion.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the object climbed once again.
The most amazing part of this story is that once he goes to afterburners, the UFO makes an evasive move straight up, and Santa Maria yanks back and starts to fly up as well, now traveling at over 1,000 miles per hour. But incredibly, the UFO stops in midair, and after he passes, the UFO follows him, accelerating from a dead stop. An impossible maneuver.
So he was doing the supersonic speed, and he passed the object. The object then started climbing next to him.
They're both climbing roughly vertically. Then what?
At 19,000 meters, he couldn't climb no more, and he was practically floating.
At 19,000 meters, just over 62,000 feet, Santa Maria began to lose control of his plane. The Su-22 has a ceiling of 60,000 feet and could no longer operate at this altitude.
Without a capacity to attack one last time, he started getting back to the base.
After briefing the pilots on his specific flight plan and maneuvers, Barron, Joker, Ted, and Bill Scott prepare for takeoff to demonstrate the details of this strange engagement.